It's time to head back to the early 20th century and play some Mafia. The year is 1930. You are the leader of a Mafia family in the fictional city of Steelport. Based loosely off Atlantic City, your family rules the town along with two others, the Gambino and the Corleone families. For decades, your family has enjoyed the fruits of their criminal labor, taking in millions of dollars from bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. But now the government is stepping up its efforts to crack down on organized crime. J. Edgar Hoover's new agency, the FBI, is hot on the trail of mobsters. Soon, they will be arresting some of your men. That can only mean one thing. It's time for war. Hello there, welcome to Mafia, Deadly Hands of the Syndicate. In this game, you play as a Mafia boss whose goal is to expand his criminal empire and destroy his enemies. Like Grand Theft Auto, you have a certain amount of freedom in how you choose to do this. It's unlike GTA, however, the gameplay is much more mission-based. So instead of driving around and shooting random pedestrians, you will follow a linear storyline.
Ow.
Whenever you complete a mission for a member of your family, you earn respect and money. Respect is used to gain experience and eventually promote your character. Money is spent on upgrading weapons and buying new properties. The game is split into 5 chapters, each taking place in a different part of the country. At the start of the game, you will be in Chicago. After that, you will travel to the Deep South before heading to Las Vegas, New Orleans, and finally Cuba. In these places, you will take on rival families, corrupt cops, prohibition agents, and anyone else who gets in your way. As the game progresses, you will also take on more and more high-value targets. By the end of the game, you will be going toe-to-toe with some of the biggest crime bosses in the country. At its core, Deadly Hands of the Syndicate is a third-person shooter. Your character will be doing a lot of driving, sneaking, and gunplay. The cover system works very similarly to Gears of War, which was a huge influence on the game's development, but it isn't quite as tight. There's also a heavy emphasis on stealth. If you want to take out a high-value target, you might need to sneak into their mansion and plant a bomb. This requires you to stalk your prey from the shadows, avoiding lights and hiding behind objects. If you're spotted, the alarm will be raised, and you will have to fight your way out. Melee combat is not very well designed, but if you find yourself in a pinch, you can always whip out your trusty Tommy gun and mow down anyone who gets in your way. The game does feature some light RPG elements, including an experience and respect system. As you complete missions and take out enemies, you will gain experience points. When you have enough, you will be able to promote your character, giving you access to new abilities and perks. These include a faster sprint, improved aim, and even the ability to intimidate witnesses. To purchase these upgrades, you need to visit the local bar and exchange your hard-earned cash for respect. Think of it like RP in Red Dead Redemption. Completing missions also gives you experience in certain skills such as marksmanship and driving. These determine the accuracy of your guns and how well you control vehicles. Again, these are similar to Grand Theft Auto 4, another big influence on the game. The game also features a unique stealth meter. It fills whenever you stay hidden or use objects for cover. Once it's full, you gain a stealth bonus, making you even harder to detect. This meter also drains whenever you fire your weapon, so you need to find the right balance between offense and defense. Just like the Mass Effect franchise, the story is one of the best things about Deadly Hands of the Syndicate. It's really immersive, and you'll actually feel like you're replaying as a real-life Mafia boss. The voice acting is top-notch, with standout performances by Joe Pantoliano and Chaz Palminteri. They perfectly capture the mannerisms and speech patterns of real Italian Americans. The writing is sharp and witty, with plenty of memorable quotes. Plus, there are some genuinely funny moments mixed in with the action and drama. Overall, the package is very impressive for a video game released in 2006, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. The graphics are definitely dated, but that doesn't mean they're bad. The game still looks good today and runs smoothly on most modern systems. However, the character models are a little stiff, and the environments are a bit empty. Still, this isn't a deal breaker for most people. What may be more off-putting is the camera angles. Oftentimes, they don't know what to do with themselves. This is especially annoying during driving missions, where you'll often be swerved violently to avoid pedestrians. Also, since this is a third-person shooter, you won't be able to enter first-person mode. This may be disappointing to some of you, but it's really not that big of a deal. So far I've been talking about the campaign, but Deadly Hands of the Syndicate also features a multiplayer mode. Here you can take on other players in deathmatch or team deathmatch games. There are also several different game modes, including a very similar to GTA mode called Mob Match. It pits two teams against each other with one team trying to eliminate the other. To make things more interesting, each player has a special ability. These include throwing a smoke grenade, healing nearby allies, or planting explosives. Overall, the multiplayer is pretty fun, but it's definitely not as polished as other shooters of the time, like Call of Duty and Gears of War. If you want to get the most out of the single-player campaign, you should know that there are several different endings. These are determined by the choices you make throughout the game. How many members of the opposing families do you decide to kill? How many innocent people do you run over while driving? How many people do you decide to intimidate? These all affect the ending. Some of them are pretty obvious, like killing everyone ending in a very bad ending. But some are more subtle. For example, if you save a hostage, you will unlock the best ending. In terms of length, you should expect to spend around 15 hours on the single-player campaign. If you want to 100% the game, then you will have to spend some time in multiplayer. Also, if you want to see every ending, you will need to play through the game at least 4 times. Overall, this is a great game that is well worth playing. The story is fantastic, and the gameplay is solid. Sure, the graphics are a bit outdated, and the multiplayer isn't very good, but these are forgivable flaws. The game is still fun to play today, and has a lot to offer both new and veteran players. But what do you think? Would you play this game? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you liked this video, please hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.